Hey everybody, it's Daddy14, PG, otherwise known as the MediaPurchaseGuide.com, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Ghost Recon Future Soldier. If you haven't had the opportunity, go ahead and check out my unboxing video. This is the full analysis / review of the game. Should you pick it up? Should you buy it? We'll answer those questions for you today. PS3, we got it going on here. We got the Ghost Recon Future Soldier. Let's go ahead and jump into a Daddy1424 style. Before we do, I just want to say remember to like, 2 thumbs up, subscribe, and leave some comments below. You guys have made this entire venture possible for me, and you continue to make it possible by subscribing and liking. Let's jump into it. So here we have the Ghost Recon Future Soldier, and we'll start with this menu here. It really pops. It's really vibrant. It shows the capabilities of what the PS3 can really push out in terms of graphics and whatnot, and I'm very, very impressed with this. However, visuals in the actual game are a little bit different, and that's what we're going to talk about in a moment. But the first thing I want to cover with you guys is the different modes that are available for you. So this game, if you purchase it, it does require an online pass. Get that online pass, or you can purchase one. I believe it's about $9.99 on the PSN store, or the XBL respectively. So you have your multiplayer, your campaign, your Guerilla, your squads, your extras, your Uplay, and your downloadable content. Now your Uplay is a feature that's been utilized, such as games as Assassin's Creed and whatnot, where they do things, for example, like keep track of your stats and offer unique Uplay rewards and whatnot. Your additional downloadable content and whatnot, you probably maybe got them if you have purchased the game. You'll get different downloadable content giving you new weapons and different headgear and all that kind of stuff like that. So then we have our Guerilla mode, which is very similar to Call of Duty's challenge mode, or I'm not exactly quite sure what they call it, but you basically have different challenges and different waves of enemy coming at you, and you have to clear them through. You then have your campaign and co-op modes, which you can do co-op up to 4 people, and you have your multiplayer, which is pretty straightforward, and we will cover today. I will show you the multiplayer in Guerilla, but I will also be talking to you in depth about the campaign. I don't want to spoil that for you, that's why I'm not going to be showing it. So let's jump right into the Guerilla mode first and foremost, and let's show you what it's about and talk about the actual campaign while we're at it, so I can show you some of the visuals and aesthetics. And that brings me to our first topic, which is the visuals and aesthetics of the game. We talked about the manual being absolutely phenomenal. However, the graphics, well, they're decent and they're definitely good. I wouldn't qualify them quite as great because they don't pay attention to detail on certain things, so I was kind of conflicted in it. As I played the game through, and now I have played co-op with Nexus. And actually, speaking of which, we will have a full last level co-op walkthrough on elite difficulty for you guys coming up soon. We just have to find the opportunity to film that between the two of our schedules. Make sure you check out his blogs as well, Nexus Team PG. You can find it on my channel. But in any case, one of the things I talked to him about with the visuals was that I really enjoyed it. The character models were phenomenal. The environments are nice. It's lush. It's vibrant. Very similar to the Uncharted feel. However, this is my problem right here, the shrubbery. It's the attention to detail. Yes, it kind of seems like a 3D texture mapping, but it also seems like a 3D meets 2D. In most games like Medal of Honor and Black Ops, and when you compare them to regular FPSs, and you walk through things like the shrubbery, it actually moves for you, and in this it doesn't. And it's not a big deal at the end of the day. It's just, a little, like I said, attention to detail that unfortunately didn't show in this particular instance. It doesn't take away from the game, because remember, each game, the core fundamental of it is not going to be just visuals. There it comes down to sound, and it comes down to gameplay, and just sheer replay value and fun. And that's what this game does well. So we'll move on to the next topic, and that is the gameplay. It offers a cover system very similar to games like Gears of War. Then you have your unique camo system, your customization with your weapons and whatnot. Let's see if we can get in a position here to take this guy out. And a lot of weapons and a lot of unique gadgets. I think very similar to what we might see from Call of Duty Black Ops 2, which will offer a very futuristic feel. The gameplay is very fun to play co-op. For example, if you're playing co-op, it'll make the game a lot easier. You'll be able to play through on the elite difficulty, no problem. However, in retrospect, if you play single player, while co-op can be a lot easier, it can also be a lot more difficult, because single player, you can mark your targets, for example, like that, and tell your teammate to take them out, making the game a lot more easier for you. So it really depends on your perspective of how you like to play. I personally prefer the co-op experience because it's more true one-to-one. Now obviously there's multiplayer modes and whatnot and things like this. The sound of the weapons are bang on when you add on like your silencers. Let's go ahead and kill some people, which I clearly don't have a silencer in this instance. So it looks like I'm going to have to go on a shooting spree because I didn't equip that silencer. I keep forgetting to do that. No, study. There's more of them, but the question is where? And then you have gadgets like sensors and drones and things like that, and you can see how it essentially identifies to me where the character is going to be. Overall, this game is extremely fun. I couldn't have asked for more from it. The storyline is missing a little bit of gaps here and there, like there's some things that are not explained. Spoiler, if you don't want to hear this, fast forward through this part here. But what will happen is, for example, you can play the storyline, and there's one mission where you clear it out, and then after that mission, all of a sudden your character ends up in space, and he's basically traversing through space into the atmosphere, and there's no real explanation given to why all of a sudden we decided to go to space. So there's little gaps in the story like that, but it doesn't take away from it. The game overall is still very fun. Speaking of customization and all that, I want to go out of this. I'm going to go into a multiplayer mode, show you the different customization elements from character to guns, as well as talk a little bit about the multiplayer. I highly recommend this as a pickup. A lot of companies like IGN want to give it a metric scoring system. If I had to do that off my initial impressions, or after my full review, I would have to give it probably somewhere between an 8.7 to a 9.2. Simply because, like I said, it obviously can improve in certain areas, but it's also a great game and one that you definitely should add to your collection. So for the multiplayer matches, we will start over here with the game types. So you have several different types: the conflict, the decoy, saboteur, siege, and then you can choose any. Now siege is essentially you get killed, you don't respawn, that's it. Saboteur, you will do things like you will try and evacuate a bomb from an area. Decoy, the attacking team has 3 objectives, 1 key, 2 decoy. And then conflict is objectives randomly based and whatnot. So conflict tends to be the most normal and most proficient and oftenly played. So you can go into your character mode, and you'll see you get your character in there. You can customize your character in lots of different ways. You can customize his appearance. Although I wish they would add the ability to customize your character's actual look rather than just his head. That's something that they could work on. You get points, and then you can then allot to, ranking up. We'll go to the progression bar and show you some of the different things. So you'll see I'm a level 9. As you get further up, you unlock different weapons and head things and gears and, all that. Engineer tends to be the best class because you get the most gadgets and whatnot. That's what I find. But again, there are several different classes. So going over here to loadout, just to show you the customization of the weapons, I highly suggest playing the story through first. Otherwise, you won't have full access to all the weapons. And you'll only be able to choose from a select number of them. But if you play the campaign through, then you'll get access to the majority of weapons. Not all of them, but the majority of. So you can see you can customize everything here, from your hair trigger to your optics to your paint to your gas to your underbarrel, your side rail, and they have a lot of unique different options and whatnot. For example, if I go to side rail, you can see that you get increases control by providing visual aid, and you have to spend an attachment credit, which are those points that I was referring to back there where you saw the 2 for the Team Boat Arc. So we'll jump out of this here, the customization, and we will jump into an actual match to quickly show you what the multiplayer is actually like. I apologize in advance if I happen to get killed, but again, this is more to show you what the game is like. I highly recommend picking this game out. The next thing I would like to ask you guys is, what do you want to see next from me? Like I said, I have a BlackBerry playbook that I can do a video on. I'm curious to know if that's something you guys want to see. If you're not interested in it, you don't want me to do it, or you want me to do a comparison versus Android, BlackBerry to Apple, I'd be more than happy to do that. If you have a particular game you're looking forward to, Spec Ops: The Line or Lollipop Chainsaw, remember to shoot that off as well in the comments so I can be aware of that and try and get that game and accommodate you guys. As for my contest, I'm still working out the details. Once I have more information, I will be definitely updating you guys on that. Of course, I'm not able to find a game, it seems like. Interestingly enough, that's the first time I haven't been able to actually find a game. It's very interesting. Early this morning, there were some issues with the servers. I tried to jump on, and essentially what had happened, let's see if I can go to any here. What essentially had happened when I did it was there was a lot of glitches, and I noticed that the server was giving some issues. So I'm not sure if this is one of those off days, or if there's just no matches up. Looks like there is a match. And as we wait for the multiplayer to start, the moment of truth awaits. Thank you very much, guys, for all your support, subscriptions, likes, comments. You guys make it possible for me to continue to make it possible each and every time. So I'll go ahead and jump in. When you start the match, you'll be able to spawn basically off a base, or you can spawn off a character. Now the match has to actually be in progress. You'll see that this match is just starting, so I'm not going to be able to spawn off of the individual at this point yet. So what you can do is you can hit select right off the get-go, and you can choose, for example, to follow a teammate or to defend an objective. Now if you actually select it, you'll see that this indicator comes up here, and it will show me where my objective is. So that's obviously quite unique. and you know, helps you navigate the maps and whatnot, know where to go and what your objectives are. Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I didn't see that guy. Ah. That was an epic fail. In any case scenario, guys, I just wanted to show you briefly what the maps are like. The one other thing I could obviously see is I could see some more added, maybe different types of matches that they offer in the multiplayer, maybe some additional maps as well. But all in all, I'm very impressed with this. Make sure you pick up your copy of Ghost Recon Future Soldier. I know it hasn't been an in-depth look at the multiplayer, but at least you got a first-hand and just to see what it is actually like. Thank you very much again, guys. You make this possible. Daddy1424 signing off the only way that I know how. I hope you enjoyed this full review and analysis. Remember, 8.7 to a 9.2. Pick up your copy today. Daddy1424 signing off the only way that I know how. Peace. Love.